Welcome to another edition of Spiritual Food Health Clinic. Thank you for tuning in. You guys got a good show today. I'm definitely going to bring some different type of message today for you. And I'm just going to start right now that I am not a professional. I am not a doctor. So this is for entertainment purposes only. So step on up and let's get busy. I definitely got something for you today. And what we're going to do, I kind of wrote some things down, so I'm gonna need to have this in front of me so I can keep track of where I'm going with this. And what we're going to do is we're going to shake things up with this podcast. And I have a story for you, and because I had a dream earlier, and it's just so profound that it's fit for this message that I need to present. Because I was like, man, asking the spirit, I'm like, what am I going to cover today? I'm trying to meditate and different things and what my audience need to hear and what I should be able to deliver. So I end up meditating and I came down and I had had a chance to kind of sleep on it. And I was just like, wow, this dream was very vivid. And I'm just going to go into it and we're just going to take it from there. And we're going to have a good time with this message. And what I just want to add with this is the spirit is working through me, and for us, and with you that resonate with this message, just come on and just see what it's all about. So what I do, I was having this dream, and it was a raging storm, and you're going through your normal process, your normal routines, like you don't see it, you're just like, okay. You're not seeing any warnings. You're not, not seeing anything come through any other channels. So you're just like going throughout your day. Then all of a sudden, you look up and you see a tornado coming. And I'm just like, wow. And the thing about it is just like, there was no fear in sight of this. I'm just moving through it. And then what I did, you have a few minutes to grab safety and shelter, because I was going out to my car and it's like, okay, now what is bringing me out to my car, and once I got in there and fumbled around in the car and I looked at and saw this storm coming, it was just like all of a sudden, and then you start hearing the warning signs and things like that. I'm just like, wow. And so I'm just like, just getting up, no sense of urgency, what about going about this whole thing. I'm just like, wow. So I had the calmness, to really deal with this situation. And as I was moving and going towards, towards my door, I'm looked over and looked at, my neighbor, and they sitting in their car, and I'm just like looking at them like, wow, I should help them. I should go and try to, assist, So, we only got a few minutes to react. And they looked at me and they was like, oh, we're good. Just go worry about yourself, take cover. We're good. And I'm just like, okay. I'm just trusting that they know what they're talking about. So I went in and started to proceed to get my safety intact. And then the wind was picking up. It was getting so strong. So I had to, turn around and go backwards and make my way into the door, because it was just, the wind was just so much sucking me in, like it was pulling me the opposite direction. So I'm like, I'm just going to turn around and use all my strength with my legs and push back and go into the door. And when I did that, I was like able to get through the threshold of my own house. And by the time I got in, it was still hard to move. I'm just like, man, I just got to get to the basement. I just got to make it, just in case. I just need to, for safety. And I'm struggling, and I'm just like crawling, and just like, it's like a slow motion process, just moving and moving and moving. And I'm just like, man, I got to get there. So I'm just like, I'm determined. I'm like, I'm not worried. It's just like one of those things. I know I can see the destination. I can see it. It's right there in front of me. I'm going to make it. So, and I just pulled myself and kept going. And then I was able to get to that moment, get to the basement where I can, seek shelter and everything like that. And I'm just like, wow. And then all of a sudden the storm came through, and everything was just really, really quick. You can feel the wind and everything knocking and stuff. So I was able to come up, and I was like, looked around, and it's like, man, there's nothing damaged. It was just amazing how nothing, got disrupted, and there was nothing, out of place. Everything was intact. And I'm just like looking at myself, it's like, wow, what could that mean? that whole scenario was different. I'm just like, so I'm sitting back and I'm just like, just amazed how things worked out, because in that situation, I never panicked. I didn't rush myself. I didn't try to, overdo anything, even though I was like always trying to look out for my neighbors, trying to help somebody else instead of, taking care of myself. So I was still able to perform, what I need to do in that moment, and had the right gestures, and just able to go through that with, no scars, nothing, everything intact. So it was just a beautiful thing that, that we can have to, have everything intact. So when I find myself, I'm just like, man, what can I get out of this message? So, and it just tells you, when things come about in your life, it comes unexpected. We don't look for trouble. We don't look for, things to be out of place. We're just doing what we need to do throughout the day, and, with no worries, in sight. So, and all of a sudden we're forced to make a reaction to do something in the moment of time that we really had no time to think about, can't make any plans, can't make any adjustments. So you just find yourself like, wow. And then you get that moment where the Spirit just talks to you and say, hey, do this, do that, do this, do this, do that. And how many times that we get those information for ourselves and we hesitate and we start questioning it, and we just say, why do I got to do it that way? Or why I got to, I had plans to go this direction. I want to keep going, but we was being redirected. It's like, whatever you had planned right there, that's not the path I want you to do. So you can't go that way because something else is going to happen. So we had to, listen to ourselves. I've been talking about self-care in this whole process. And what we got to do is kind of listen to our bodies, listen to our inner spirit, you ladies, your intuition. And I'm developing that even stronger today with myself. So it's just one of those things that you can't ignore. And once you ignore it, you find yourself in a world of trouble. You can't see things clearly. You're just like, man, how did I get here moment? But you know how you got here because you were being stubborn and you kept moving in one direction where you needed to, make a left, or you have to make that right. And you find yourself like, man, this is not the situation I ever thought I would be in. But we got to pay attention to what's going on in our lives. Like I said with the neighbor, I was like, wow, why are they out here? Why are they sitting in that position? They should be going for cover. They shouldn't be just like they about to take off in a spaceship or something. It's like, what are they thinking? So, but they, said, we got this covered. We're okay. You worry about yourself. And I said in that moment, we don't know where things are going to be placed in our lives. So that was a confirmation. That was like, you see in a time where you have an angel or you have someone that give you that positive word, or there's something that you need to take heed of. So that was a message for me to not continue to do what I'm doing. I was going to go one direction because I was heading into my car. I was heading and take off, go somewhere where I didn't see what was coming in ahead of me. So that was a chance for me to see that moment, so I'm like, okay, man, that was like an angel sent, like, just take care of yourself. That's the message, still it seems the theme of all my podcasts is self-care. So you got to do what your mind and what your spirit is telling you, what your body is reacting to. You got to pay attention to those. So I'm just like, wow, I'm looking at them. It's like, we got this. You worry about yourself. You go do what you need to do and handle your business. So, we get those messages, where we get it from our friends, we get it from certain things, we have ways of getting those messages to us. So we hear it in a song, we hear it in a message, and we just got to pay attention and we got to be in tune. And that's why I bring in being in tune. We're talking about the food. The food help us clear our channels, clear our minds, clear everything that needs to give us that connection. So that's why it's important what we put in our body is very important, how we're going to, go and navigate through all this life journey. So we got to make sure we feeding it the right thing, and we're going to plug in more about that later. And so the message with them was like, take care of yourself. I'm like, man, I was like, they had no word, just like I had no word. I was like, okay, I'm trusting this process. I'm gonna do what I need to do, and I didn't question it. So I kept going, even if I had to go, turn around backwards. I was determined to get to where that destination where I need to be. So we gotta make sure we go in that sequence. We just can't do it our way all the time, so sometimes we got to adjust and do that, and adjustment makes a big difference in what the situation you're about to face. And we can't never see it because it's in real time, but in hindsight you be like, oh, I understand why I had to like flip this or turn this around, because it was a vital moment of time that I need to switch up. So that's what we got to take a heed. Even though I was struggling to get the movement and I couldn't force myself in there. It's just like the closer I got to safety, the harder it was going to get, for me to get through the door and get where I need to go. It's just like, man, things was like tighten up, and I just couldn't really. I was like, why didn't you just get up and run? It's like something was holding me down, and I just couldn't move. But I was putting everything I had on it to make sure I kept the progress going and just getting to the destination. So, what are we facing in our life? What are the challenges you're facing with? You're seeing yourself like, man, I don't know if I can go through this. I don't know what, why is all this is happening now? And it's just like, like I said, this is a life experience. We're here to learn. We're here to develop. We're here to mature. We're here to get an understanding of who we are, and more things that we get challenged with, the more things open up on the inside of us, and we didn't know or realize was there, and it just manifests itself because now you're like, oh man, I am really tapped in. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about tapped in with ourselves and how we need to go about business, how we need to go about, living life to the fullest, what we're meant to be, what we're here, sitting here to do, and, and understanding what your purpose is. We just can't just go through the motion. We got to really find out what really matters in our lives. So you got to understand yourself. You got to be with yourself. You got to deal with yourself. You got to process things and understand what the situation really means. All it is. What lesson am I getting out of this? What can make me a better person? What can make me do things a little different? If I was faced with this situation again, how can I change the matter of fact? And that brings us up to the next thing that we need to get to, so we evolve and we make ourselves, and everybody else around us, feeling great, making moves, you're doing things that nobody ever thought you would do, because now you're building yourself up slowly. So we want to do that. And it was, and I had pulled a card, and it just like fit this dream. So it's just like, man, this was like orchestrated. So this was about standing your ground. It's like you having these mountains in your way. That's why I say your challenges. You have things that's put there, and you just like, man, I don't know about this today. I don't know what's really going on. And you're just like, why am I seeing this in front of me? I thought this was going to be, so easy and, less stressful, but sometimes we got to bust things up, to really get to where we need to be on the inside. So it's like, stand your ground and just look at the message for here. Hold firm to what you believe in or are focusing on, because it's absolutely right. Know that heaven and earth are supporting you. You see about that little story about that little angel or whoever was in that car telling me like, hey, go about your business. Do what you need to do. Stand up. I had to stand up. I had to walk through that storm. I tried to crawl, but I didn't have enough force until I got inside. Then all I had was in me was to crawl, but I had to stand up. I had to walk through it. I had to be on purpose, because I was like, okay, I need to get in here because something is coming through. I can feel it. I can hear it. And I need to be in place where I need to be in the right time. So whatever about to happen, it doesn't affect me. Mountains. You know, sometimes the mountains are there to protect you too. You know, it acts as a shield. You know, you have a barrier where nothing else can get through. You know, they can come over you, but they ain't gonna get right in there where you at. So we just got to take the message and just like, wow, you know, what am I facing today? You know, what I need to stand on. And let me give you a little bit more. Mountains are strong and wise. They are rooted deep in the earth and reach high into the sky. They have they have been where they are for thousands of years and have been home to animals. They have been climbed by humans. They have been seen seasons come and go. No matter what has happened to them, they have remained strong, immovable, unshakable. So they offer spiritual energy and strength and resilience. That really described that whole dream. I had strength, resilience. I wasn't going to give up. I pulled through. I pressured through. I didn't just like said, okay, I can't do no more. Just take me. No, I fought through that, and that's what you got to do when the pressure come up. You got to push through it. You got to push through it and let it, you know, do what it needs to do. So let me go into this because this is great. Mountain energy is powerful because it's firmly rooted in the Great Mother and reaches high to the Great Father. If you're feeling challenged or pressured at this time, know that your spirit is more powerful than you think. You are resilient and grounded, and the energy and air of mountains is giving you the unshakable strength to you who you are. Take time to root yourself deeply in the energy of the earth before welcoming in the energies of heaven. If you're not sure what you need to do next, the mountain card invites you to stay exactly where you are. Talk things over with those around you and know that the change will come to you. You will be whole and well at the end of this current situation, and it will not stand in the way of your future growth and expansion. Just look at there. How many times, you know, where we want to run from everything. We just want to take up and just like, okay, this is too hard. I'm not going to do this. You know, I'm going to bounce. You know, how many people just expert at bouncing? I'm out of here. So you see it makes you stronger. It grounds you. It puts roots in you. And it helps you, you know, deal with the situation at the hand. So we can, like you said, we had a little counsel. They said, talk things through. And when I had my situation, I had to talk things through, you know, and it was able to get me through a place that I thought was, you know, I had big, deep mountains. It was just like, I didn't think I'd be able to climb over that. But you just got to realize that, hey, there's help all the way around you. There's always help. Are we looking around? Are we seeing it? Are we so got our head down and in the mud that we just blinded by our situation? So we got to keep things together, you know. And that's why I said, it says, you know, about the Father, you know, tapping in your energy. It's unshakable strength to who you are. You have that power. So we just get, and that sometimes we got to have that pressure to bring that strength and that power out of us. And we know we can handle it. And like what I'm saying, you know, we got a whole new year. March is coming up. This is a new year. You know, it's a start. So, and if you want to stay grounded and just be able to flow through your next season, you know, you want to make sure, you know, what are you putting in your body? What are you putting in there? You need to really, really make that shift. This is about the food. We got to make that shift. For you to grow, and you saying for expansion. What are we going to have our body expand to? So we got to put the proper ingredients inside of us so we can manifest what we need to get through. So what seed fruit are you putting in your body? Can you give me a seeded fruit that you're putting in your body? That's where you have the most vital nutrients and everything that your body needs to operate and get rid of things that don't belong. We got to continually flush things out. And if we're not, we find ourselves, stuck, stagnant. Our body is stagnant because you're going to do what your body's doing. And it's going to show on the outward side. So that's why it works hand in hand. That's why I bring in the spiritual side, because we need that extra pull that we can grab to and understand, like, hey, I am built for this, but we got to work on ourselves. So we always work on self-improvement, self-love, self-care, dealing with our bodies. We got to love ourselves. Not everybody like everything about their body. I know I didn't like everything about my body, but we put ourselves in a position like, nobody's perfect, and it's just things that we need to work on. We have to work on. We can get into perfection, but you got to put effort on that, and don't worry about how you look, because we're unique in ourselves. I'm unique in my look. We're not supposed to be like everybody. So you understand who you are, and just pick that seeded fruit, and just study on that and just put it, and what nutrients are you getting from that? And how does that affect your body when you're trying to, move forward to your new year, to understand the new prophecy that's been, spoken over your lives, your new destiny, your new, your new goals, how many things that you have on your list that you're manifesting. So you want to make sure you're putting the seed in your body so it can produce what you want on the outside. So we want to make sure we cover all that. And the thing about, make sure you're putting your body into a good hydration mode. We want to keep our body hydrated. That helps us keep flushing out. H3O2 is the best thing if you can't find a way to do that, but that's just eating a lot of fruit that's naturally, that's heavy watered fruit. So that helps you, understand, the consistent thing, how things flow in your body. And we don't want our body to get stagnant. We don't want the outside physical world to be stagnant around us. We want to have a continuous flow. We want to flow. So what are you picking? You tell me, what are you picking today? Email me at ajnaturals17@gmail.com. That's AJNATURALS17@gmail.com. Let me know, what are you treating your body with, and how is that helping you manifest? Bring things to light, and it gives you the strength. We talk about strength. I illustrated the strength. We got to push through. We got to put through our body into a supernatural state where we can, take that into our physical realm. And that's treating our body first. Treat yourself first. They said, take care of yourself. Take care. That was that message over there. My little angels in the corner in the car. They just say, Agent, we watching you. We got your back. We got you covered. We seeing everything that's going around you. You have that protection. You have that guidance. Are you listening to your guidance? Are you listening? Or are you sitting back and just like, wow, how did I get here moment? So we got to keep pushing. We got to keep, not letting things go. We got to, don't let our health go, no matter how hard or how difficult it gets. Don't let it go. It's important. It's important to your future. It's important to whoever that's in your life. You got grandchildren. You got other people that need your wisdom. You need to be around. You need to start taking care of yourself. Be strong for you. Be strong. So you can be strong for others. Like I'm still looking out for others, but it's like, now that's not the time for that. I want you to focus on you. You hearing the message? I want you to focus on you. Love yourself. How many times we forget about loving ourselves? And like, well, most of us, we don't know how to love. We haven't really experienced it, firsthand. There's been here and there, but it's not been a total nucleus where you just indulge in love, because that brings you more power in your life than you can ever imagine. Overcoming everything with the power of love. And we need that energy. We talk about the energy here in this message. That energy comes from our food. That's why I went back. What seeded fruit are you putting in your body? Feed yourself. Feed your mind. Feed your spirit. And just look where it takes you. You'll be amazed. The change that you'll get. Oh, man. And just like, you'll be like your own person again. Taking back control. Not letting the life control you. You setting it up the way you want it and how you need it to be for your circumstance, for your family, for the people that that are counting on you. Be there. Be there for yourself and just see. Talk to me about it and just see the changes. I always say, make a diary of things. When you make an adjustment in your life, this is all about taking note and knowing the difference, from when you started this and from the time that you start, months down the line, you can see the transition. And that's why we're making little transitions at a time. And you'll be amazed at what you do. Your energy, your skin, your body, you just like, man, I want that every single time. You wake up to this grand rising. This is a grand rising because we're here. Do y'all get it? Do y'all understand the message? This is for you, baby. This is for you, sir. Live the life that was given to you, that was predestined for you. In your purpose. And you don't know what's predestined for you until you figure out what that purpose is. And then you know how to move. And everything start to align. You're not trying to go here, you're not trying to go there, because you're taking too many routes that doesn't get you to the place where you go. You're having so many detours. You know how we got that GPS? They be trying to get you to a destination, but it's like, it just made it worse. It's like, oh my goodness, I just want to throw this thing out the water, out the window, It's just like, it's not working. You're just like, I was supposed to be here at this certain time, and now I'm thrown off. So we don't want that in our lives. We got things, you talk to me, we got people around me that shows you how to get the work done, how to find your purpose. We're a team. And just see what it can do for you, okay? Love yourself. Give yourself a hug today, It makes a difference. You see this big smile, I can't stop smiling because the more I love myself, the more my light shine. Do you get it? Let's do it, y'all. So that's the message today. I'm not going to go any further than that. And that if it resonates to you, just talk to me about it. You got my email address, and we can go into this, and we can just love on each other. Whatever we need for our motivation. This is inspiration time, y'all. This is inspiration time. So we can do this. All right. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of Spiritual Food Health Clinic. We're here to heal, mend, and conquer. All right? Stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you for tuning in. I love y'all. Peace, love, and happiness.